Alright everybody, so today we're going to continue with that little series that I started last week where we're going to go into Live Arena and we're going to play through a couple of matches there. Now I actually advanced to Silver 1 now, so we're a little bit deeper. The lineup hasn't really changed too much. Maybe the exception is that currently I'm drafting Ugo a bit less and instead go for Gorm to try and apply the stun. Mainly because he is on 60 right now and he's way faster. The problem that I have with that is that it also means I don't have a defense down right now, which for Arena is a little bit tricky, so I'm still a bit on the fence. Still hoping to get with the next pulls some good alternatives also for damage, because I'm very heavily reliant on Michelangelo right now. But yeah, let's just straight in and see what we're gonna get today. Alright, so let's start with the first round here. Now I'm actually pretty happy with the progress in Live Arena. Given that my lineup is rather shallow at this point, I actually didn't expect to go to Silver 1 already and continuously pulling wins here. Now obviously I'm not winning as much anymore as I have before. It's getting a little bit more difficult, but generally speaking, not really too unhappy. I get a lot of area bonuses right now, which I also started using for Faction Wars, simply because with the hard mode on Faction Wars is going to help me a lot, and I need more forge materials, and that's just simply what it is. A couple of the champions I'm generally using have now become stronger. Michelangelo is a little bit faster, he has better crit rate, is now at 102%, so is hitting that very reliably. And yeah, I think I also have him a little bit more attack in. Morak, I think I could actually upgrade her just a bit, and since nobody is banning her out and she is a lot stronger than most people assume, I'm currently thinking about regearing her slightly. I still have a couple of other champions that I currently need to prioritize, but she is all in all pretty strong. So with something like this, it's getting a little bit tricky, because on the one hand I want to ban Michelangelo, is probably the best damage dealer on the other side, but a Krisk can be really annoying, so we're banning Krisk out here. Now, this happens a lot, that Michelangelo gets banned. If my High Cartoon doesn't get banned, I normally then have the start of the first turn, and I also can try and apply my stun with Gorm. The only question then is, can I really dish out enough damage to take the opponent down? This is really where I need to at some point replace Morak with another damage dealer. And I'm honestly very heavily on the fence on who that's going to be. I'm still eyeing Phoenix a bit and think about getting him to 60, so that would be an option. But while he is nice, he will be on 60 eventually. I still am currently thinking about waiting to maybe get the next double ancient pull. Here, let's try for the stun. And I kind of hope that I'm going to get a better legendary here. My problem in this lineup that he's running is definitely going to be Michelangelo. Taking him down if he's well built is always a bit of a problem. I think we can try an ally attack over here and see if we can get a kill and then a second turn. Always depends a little bit on who the hits come in, but yeah, so didn't get it here. And this is normally, again, where I go at the start and then it becomes a little bit tricky. So this is where's always the question, do I go Ugo, do I go Gorm? Gorm is way faster, the stun is nice, the decreased attack on the other hand, and the block buffs, that's something that I should really not miss out on. I think it's highly likely that Ugo is going to be my next 60, and then I have finally a banner that I can throw in, and I will make him even faster and more impactful than he currently is. That's an interesting one. Seems like somebody was sleeping a little bit, so I'm not quite sure if he's completely running down the time here, but maybe he is AFK. Now, don't misunderstand this. I would love a little free win over here, but it really seems like he is currently not actually actively playing. So if only A1s get applied here, I wouldn't be too unhappy. And yep, that's apparently exactly where we are. So a little bit of a boost. Don't really understand why he left. I think he had a pretty good chance here. Maybe he felt he would have been defeated in the next round. I'll take it. There's free resources for me, so I'm not going to say no to that. Didn't really expect it, but hey, as I said, very happy with that. So, I'm really not quite sure if I should go for Gorm or for Ugo. I mean, I think technically I could also try to just get Morak out of the way. You know what? Let's actually don't use Morak for now. and instead go for Gorm and Ugo, trying to play the stun and the defense down. I don't think that both of them are going to be banned out. It's something that I haven't really done yet, but we could actually try that too. Haven't tried that yet before. Morag is usually getting at least some damage in, but too mythical. Okay, so my plan was actually to ban out Mashal because he is absolutely insane. But now I have 2 of these against me, and yeah, this is going to be tough no matter what. So when it comes to the mythicals, I guess we're gonna ban one of them, but yeah, not very happy with that. 2 mythical champions and then Mashal against you. Good luck with that. Now I might go faster here. He has an aura with on his side, and he goes first too because of it. I had high hopes that maybe I can get my stun in first, but I absolutely have no chance here. Mashal alone is most likely going to destroy me, and like, it is no way. If you have 2 mythicals at this point in the game, and then you have Mashal on top of that too, we end at whale territory here, and that's just not beatable for me right now. So that unfortunately was to be expected, so let's go straight into the 3rd game. A little bit unfortunate here, but that's the problem right now. I am climbing higher and higher. Obviously, I go up against stronger and stronger opponents. The more resources I get for my Great Hall, hey, the better, but still. At this point, it's just really a thing where you want to get the points through. You shouldn't really get too hung up about getting those wins. They will come eventually. If you have a bit of an idea of how to approach Live Arena, then it usually works. Again, we want our speed lead. He is very likely going to go for the same. He has a Deacon, so that already beats my High Cartoon. Doesn't really seem to be my day, honestly. So we're gonna let Morag slide for now. Today I'm gonna try Ugo and Gorm, but with what he's running, I mean, we have speed aura by 25%, so we have to ban her out, but Deacon is very likely going to be faster than my High Cartoon, and he bans Cartoon out too. So he's not stupid, he knows exactly what he's doing there. He will get the first turn, and this is pretty bad news for me. So if it's only Deacon, then I can deal with it, but if he has a mythical champion in as well, then I have to respond. And now, obviously, he also has, with the Dwarf, another taunt that he can use. My only chance in a situation like this is that my Gorm goes maybe second and has a chance there to get some stuns in. I have at least 2. I'm not quite sure if that's going to be enough since he already has his speed boost, but yeah, it's a little bit rough going, and this is an easy kill, of course, for him. So yeah, that's unfortunate. I mean, he is higher than me, 5 levels higher, definitely a better lineup. Morley is also great here. So, outside of the first one, not really our day. Now, I'm planning to do this a bit more often. I'm planning to do this once a week to go through a couple of the Live Arena matches here for the channel, just so you guys get an idea how the team develops as we pull new champions in, and also how the opponents change. If you contrast this to what we had last week, for example, you can already see that most of these guys are very actively starting to throw in a couple of champions that have speed auras, and that clearly makes a difference here. So this makes things a lot more tricky. He's 69, that's 12 levels above me. At this point, it already takes you so long to get to the next level that if somebody is this many levels above you, you can expect that to be a pretty heavy hitter. So we're trying Gorm again. I'm going to get High Cartoon in, and then we're going to try Ugo too. But he plays for a lot longer than I do, and I expect that he is most likely pulling mainly legendaries here. Maybe he has a mythical as well. Has a Deacon, so he's going to try and get that speed lead with Deacon. I absolutely adore, by the way, his Stag Knight. Stag Knight on my main account was one of my most impactful champions. I absolutely love him. A good Stag Knight is incredible. So, one of my favorites for sure. So in this case, actually, yeah, okay, he has an Arbiter too. So there's nothing else that you can do but ban Arbiter, but he plays it smart. He has 2 speed champions, so he bans my Cartoon. He starts things off with his Deacon. And that puts us into the same problem again. Once that you are in a situation where you have, let's say, Arbiter and Lysandra, where you have High Cartoon, you have Deacon, all of a sudden you end up in a spot where you can always draft 2 heroes that can try to give you the speed lead, and then you very likely win that battle. So all of the guys that are higher than us and have 2 speed champions should approach it that way. It's the smartest way to play this initially, and they're so far doing alright. Now we get the stun in, that's good, but we'll see how much damage this is going to do. Too much. I don't get my Alice in. I still get some damage in, but as you can already tell, it's just really a rough one for me. I can get some additional speed in here, but Michelangelo is already so low that he's most likely going to die here. Once that I lose the speed battle, things are just getting tricky. Now I can maybe take him out directly, so that's a good kill. But here's really where it starts to get a little bit tricky. We can work on Deacon a bit. Him I would like to eliminate. We get some heals out, so it's not hopeless, but it's still something where I would think my own... Everything hinges on Michelangelo. If he's somehow able to kill Michelangelo, I'm doomed. A good stun here would be fantastic. And I only get Deacon, so not sure. But the affinity is nice. The damage dealer affinity is great for me. So far, it seems like we might actually have a shot here. So I'm trying to decrease the turn meter on the Stack Knight a little bit with my auto attack. But here I have to take him out. And nice! Awesome. Okay, so this is exactly what we needed. And this is awesome. This most likely means that we just won it. Didn't really think that would happen. And he leaves. He knows that he's done. He has no damage dealers anymore. So that was actually a really cool victory for me. And one that I did not think we would be able to get. Mainly because he had his 2 speed leads and used them really well. But that was a cool one. So that was a good win. And that tells you also that affinities oftentimes play a huge role. So Alice didn't even get a shot. But then I was able to take down his first damage dealer. And then the second one. And it was all affinity based for me. So that was quite nice. You can get a bit more tactical once that you have a bigger lineup of damage dealers. When you see what he picks. And then counteract that more directly. I don't have that luxury right now because I'm very limited with the amount of champions that are strong enough to really play in Live Arena for me. But as we're progressing in the account and we are adding more damage dealers here, I will have more of those options. It's actually one of the reasons why I'm a little bit skeptical on getting Phoenix upgraded just yet, because he's also Spirit Affinity. So he's in the same boat as Michelangelo. That's not necessarily bad, but I would love if I would find somebody that is, let's say, Force Affinity, for example. And some people might point out Lemnisci. For her, the problem is just simply books. I would like to get an epic in at some point. I mean, Legendary is fine too, but I'm leaning more towards an epic that can actually book in a reasonable time frame. Yeah, so very likely we're looking at a similar situation now once again. I will most likely ban out one of the 2 speed leads here. Let's see what we're going to get last. Lineup isn't too bad. He has the Mauso Mage over here, so he has a lot of buffs. And yeah, so we have a 20 and we have then also the arena battle. I mean, I have to ban him. Void ally speed, yeah, only for the Void allies. We're banning him. This is tough. I want to ban the Legendary, but I think the only chance that I have is if I go first. So this might give us an opportunity to actually do something here, but I doubt it. And he's, by the way, level 52, so I don't think this is a free-to-play account that we're running into. So we'll see what we can do. I should get the first turn, I would say, with Gorm, or a very early one. And I don't, no. His Legendary is faster than me, so bad news for me. Yeah, that was the other ban option that I had there, but unfortunately for me, he's gonna get the first hit. Gets 3 stuns! Okay, we're screwed, we're screwed. Seems like we're gonna end up with only 2 wins today. I highly doubt that we're gonna get out of this. I don't know. Yeah, he is definitely in a much better position with the account than I am. So, yeah, that's basically that. So, let's have a quick look at the log today. So, we had 2 victories. One where the opponent left a bit early. That was a bit of a surprise. This one, really nice battle where we took out the 69. And I can't really be too unhappy about the losses that we had. It wasn't all that close. Our first opponent we lost to had 2 mythicals and it was just way too much to handle with. Then on the back end, we had also a pretty tough one. But it gives you a bit of an idea of how it's now getting harder and harder for me to actually survive here with that lineup. I still won 2 of my battles and can therefore now also start to apply more area bonuses here. As you can see, I'm slowly getting through at least the faction wars. I just want to get a little bit of a boost in. These are fairly cheap, and faction wars are honestly very important for your clan versus clan stuff, so that you get a lot of resources for the forge, and just the beating these stages in faction wars during clan versus clan gives you a lot of points there as well. So this is definitely something that I'm investing into, and I talked just the other day about a few other things that I'm getting at least a couple of points in. But this is an important one. So every single battle that I can win here is already great, but this gives you a bit of an idea of what we're heading into now with the account. And as I said, we actually advanced, so I'm now in Silver 1. I would assume that we're gonna stay here for a bit longer. But after a week of play, with maybe a couple new pulls, I might have new options here, and then we're going to dive in again. So this is going to be more or less a weekly thing that I'm going to try and set up now, where once a week, once every 10 days, we're going to go through a couple of matches here, just so you have an idea of how things progress. And yeah, that's pretty much it. So if you have any questions around Live Arena, Classic Arena, Team Arena, please let me know. Drop a comment into the comment section. If you learned anything from the video, if you enjoyed it, give the video a thumbs up. And with that, I see you guys in the next one. Have a fantastic evening. Bye-bye.